All right. Well, we have, as you can see in our lunchroom, Minette Riordan, and she's awesome. Gosh, she does so much. I remember the first time I heard you speak, you were talking about target markets and data, researching your data and demographics. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
One of my favorite things, demographics.
And what was so great about that is that, I mean, let's face it, demographics isn't exactly the most scintillating topic in the world if you don't like data. But it was very entertaining and cool. And, you know, I just love the way that you did that and you showed the importance of it. And, man, if people had talked, even listened to your talk before they embarked on their own business, especially brick and mortars that sit in places that they would do so much better. So
or each time they're goal setting, or anytime they're goal setting, you go back and revisit that.
Well, we just did that as a company. We went back to our entire group and said, hey, who are you now? And how have you changed? And what do you still want from us? So, because it's all about giving people what they really do want and not what we think they want.
Absolutely. And since she's already started talking, because she's awesome at that, Dr. Minette, I'm going to do
I'm not good at being quiet.
A typical introduction, and then I want to talk about my meeting with Dr. Minette. So she is the founder of Scissortail Publishing. For those of you who haven't heard of that, or you're outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth market listening today, or you're listening to an archive, watching an archive, we have a magazine, a parenting magazine called what was Collin County Kids when I first came upon it, but now it's North Texas Kids Magazine because it's going, what I would say, coast to coast, like building to building from one side of Fort Worth to the other side of Dallas. And how many counties does it span now, do you think?
You know what? In our online reader survey we just did, speaking of demographics, we had people reading it virtually in San Antonio.
Oh, fantastic.
And Waxahachie and all over the Metroplex. So it's pretty cool. It's
I sense a name change coming.
Well, for the past 8 years, she has successfully produced the magazine, website, and large family expos specifically targeting the moms in North Texas. And even though San Antonio is now going to be branched out, she's going to change that. Houston, Austin, we're going to go all the way down. Okay. In addition to publishing her magazine, Minette is a certified parent coach, marketing coach, and public speaker. And I have seen her speak several times as well. And I booked her to speak at Be Harmony. She spoke last month here in Dallas.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
It was a ton of fun. Her publication is well known in North Texas, and she is well respected for the commitment she shows to both family and community. She was named the 2009 Small Business Owner of the Year by the Plano Chamber of Commerce. That's in Plano, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, Texas, for those of you not in our area. And the Altrusa Woman of the Year in 2007. So, what I'd also like to say is how I met her. Because I met Minette as an advertiser first and also participated in 2 expos as a vendor and brought other vendors, and then participated year over year as a parent and as someone who wants to come and shop at the different shows that they have and bringing people to the booths and bringing my kids out and having fun. But I met her as an advertiser for a cooking school that I used to own. And what was so great about her, and she's very win-win in small business and corporate, individual, in families. It's all a unit, and how can we balance this unit? And she gives a lot of her information and ideas through consulting, through her marketing expertise, her parenting expertise, and of course running and owning and publishing the magazine. She gave me an opportunity to go above and beyond just advertising. One was, let's cut the budget and split it with another franchise so that you're both sharing in that. So that helps save money and expand our exposure, give us more branding and exposure in the magazine. And then there was 5 other sections of the magazine that I was able to either help her fill. My name was getting out there, and her readers and I guess viewers of the website were able to get some wonderful information too on the calendar of events for different free events that we were holding for parents and kids and families and teachers and students. And then there was a Kids in the Kitchen, little fun ideas for the month for parents and families to get back in the kitchen and have some fun together. There was an after-school enrichment program section that we were in because the cooking had a curriculum to it that spanned international food and learning from ages 3 to 103. So she gave me a lot of ideas above and beyond just the ad and placement of the ad and how far should we run it. And that's what she does, I believe, with her families that she coaches, the business owners that she coaches, and I'm also involved in her small business big success class. And it's also a great connecting to self, connecting to business, and connecting the people in the room, along with this wonderful facilitator.
And at some point, we're going to let her speak.
No, and one other thing, because she'll talk about this hopefully too. I want to bring that out because there are so many facets to her, but they're all about balancing the unit that is you, the unit that is your business and your family. How do we pull all that together? So I know when she's going to talk about secrets of building a business, she's going to incorporate all that, all of the balance, and she's going to have a lot of fun doing it because that's what we do on the show.
Oh, it's a requirement.
You have to have fun.
So,
We're going to get the lemons. Scooter's going to show you how to juggle. No. Yeah.
No, not good at juggling.
Right.
I'll bring my kids next time.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they can do the juggling and the entertaining while we chat.
Very good.
Right, they're good at that.
Very good. All right. Well, when I first saw that your topic for today, my very first question was, what prompted you to do that topic? What were you saying?
So I was invited to be part of a panel at the Plano Chamber with other award winners.
Okay.
And so the topic was how to build a business that stands the test of time, which I thought was a brilliant topic. Mm-hmm. So when I went and looked at what have I done or needed to do over the last 8 years, almost 9 years, it's crazy, to stay viable, because that's the biggest thing, right? You know, we have to evolve and change. So, and I had about 10 minutes to do it in. So I had to be very succinct in what I wanted to say. So that's how I came up with kind of the 6 key points that we're going to cover today on some of the secrets to building a business that stands the test of time, because that's what we all want. You know, I think we get tired sometimes, we get worn out. It's been a really rough year for a lot of people. And there has to be something that keeps you going, that keeps you in it. So I love your comment at the beginning about how this is not the time of year when we're improving ourselves. And I'm sitting here thinking, I am so excited. The kids are going to be out of school. My husband's going to be home. We're going to have some time to actually focus on us.
Right.
You know, as soon as the 1st of January hits, kids are back in school on the 4th. And it's back to business again. So for me, the holidays, it's like I'm grateful for a little bit of downtime. Now, while the eating part may not be under management as well as it normally is, and the fitness might go out the window, that creating some emotional space to do some of the necessary work before I create those resolutions or set some of those goals.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because December is so slow for most of us coaches, business-wise. Although it shouldn't be companies, because your folks really haven't done anything since Thanksgiving, and they don't plan to until January. So it'll be a good time to start doing
goal setting, and
that's right. I usually try to have my business goals done by winter solstice.
I was going to say, if you're waiting till the 1st of January to set your goals, you're too late. Right, you're already, by the time then they're set and that they're written down and you're working on them, you're through your first quarter already.
Right.
Yeah, so I appreciate that by winter solstice. That's great.
It's my winter solstice thing to do, and then we celebrate winter solstice by the fact that it's done, and I have time to, like I said, this is my time for upgrading my program.
So that is a vivid epiphany for me. I love that. I just love the name of your company.
Thank you.
Well, and getting into the meat, like we said, Minette's the meat in our sandwich today in the lunchroom. And getting into the very first of the 6 secrets, listen up, small business owners, and listen up, sales managers and sales teams, because you're building a business inside that sales team as much as the entrepreneur is. The difference is in how we try and balance this out is poor entrepreneurs out there on an island on their own, and that's why we're here. Right. And then sometimes the sales managers are too, and they're not connecting with their teams.
Right.
So listen up to these wonderful secrets.
So secret number 1, and you guys mentioned this in the introduction to the show as well, is that you have to start with and maintain a vision.
Yes.
And as we're talking about going into the end of the year, really asking yourself on an annual basis, is my vision still valid? How does it need to change? You know, this isn't something that you create this concept of your business once. And then all of a sudden, you just think it's going to stay the same. It has to change and evolve, and you have to stay active and participatory in that. So that was kind of the first one, is really understanding, sometimes, and I love this, Heidi, my office manager, she said sometimes, it's like you're in this ditch and you're digging and you're tossing the dirt and you never stop long enough to put your head up out of the ditch and look around and see what's going on around you. And at some point, you've got to gain some of that perspective. And vision for me is the stepping point to perspective.
At some point, you're going to have somebody there to pull you out of the ditch when you get down that far and you forget the ladder.
Yes, and that's so hard for the small business owner and the entrepreneur. It can be very scary to work alone and to be sitting in your home office, or if you have an office space somewhere and not talking to other people. It's like being a new mom. It's very much like being a new mom and you're stuck at home with that baby. And boy, do you need some adult conversation. At some point, you need some objective third parties to chip in, whether it's a coach, a friend, a fellow business owner, a networking partner, somebody that can just give you some advice. And you can say, hey, can I run my vision by you? And what do you see in here?
Or all of these virtual managers, where the teams are all across the nation. They're not sharing an office.
Yeah. Or Scooter even talked about before having that virtual board of directors, who's your sort of mastermind to help you grow, right? And to give you insight and feedback.
Scooter said that?
Scooter's really smart.
Scooter is really smart. He did say that.
So what I really like about, of course, I'm all about vision and possibility. That's what we do, and that's where we start in coaching. But you're absolutely right. Things change over time, and one of the things that comes up a lot is, this is what I thought I wanted, and I've had it now for a few years, and now I don't anymore. And so I think it's wonderful that you say start with the maintain a vision, because you're right. If you're waking up, Winona Judd said it yesterday on the 30 Seconds of Oprah that I caught. She said she used to wake up in the morning and say, "Oh God, it's morning." And now she wakes up and says,
"Oh God, it's morning."
Yeah, oh God, it's morning. But good morning, God. And I thought that's a very powerful shift for her, and that had to do with her changing her vision.
Right. And again, it's about the maintenance of the vision. What do you need to do to keep that going? Right? Because we want to be excited, right? We want to maintain the vividness, really.
We do.
Really what it's all about. Yeah.
We do. All right. So what's number 2?
Well, number 2 is what you just said is passion. It's where you have to start. Carol Ann could just give this talk all by herself, and I'm sure Jennifer could as well.
No, I listen to her every week. I wanted
and she says it better.
When you think about what the definition of passion is a powerful emotion, a display of boundless enthusiasm, and it's also the driving force. And if you're lacking the driving force in your business is going to be stuck in the gutter and not going anywhere. It's like trying to make progress on square wheels instead of round wheels. And John Maxwell said, I'll share with you guys a great quote, "A great leader's courage to fulfill his vision comes from passion, not position," which means that no matter where you are in the corporate world, the small business owner, whether you're a marketing person, whether you're an employee, a school teacher, it doesn't matter. It's not about your position. It's the passion with which you fill it and proceed. So, just like having to have vision that we maintain, what happens to the passion? If all of a sudden you wake up one day and you say, wow, I don't want to be right here anymore. What do you do? And this is where you hire people like Carol Ann to come in and say, I've lost my passion and I don't know how to get it back.
Yeah. And by the way, just so you all don't think that I came by this by some sort of, I did have the vivid epiphany that I had lost my passion for what I was doing, but I too hired a coach to figure this out because, again, I had a life-altering incident, I guess, that, made me take a look and say, okay, who would care if I died other than my husband and my mother? I mean, really, what have I done and what am I doing? And
what's your purpose?
I would care, by the way. If you guys
what's your purpose?
Yeah, what's my purpose and what am I doing here? And then what am I passionate about? Because I had actually trained my brain, believe it or not, when Monday came, long after I had left the industry that I didn't like so much. Long after that, I still woke up with the Monday dread. And so finding that if you're waking up with the Monday dread, that's one thing that's telling you that your passion's lagging. And
absolutely.
And it's time to
I say thank God it's Thursday. Because then we have a lunch and learn show.
That's right.
Thank God it's Thursday.
And speaking of that, I think it's time to take our next break. And then we will move on with Minette Riordan and the final 3.
No, we got one more.
We got 4.
We have
4 more.
4 more secrets.
Oh, no, there's 3. You're right. 3. Yeah, look, I can't count. It says 6, but there's
only 5. I did notice that earlier. I'm like, there's no 4.
That's
okay. That's good. Good deal. Well, I know that there's an extra one in there too. So
You get number 6 when you attend the class.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I like
ooh.
that.
Scooter, see you rock.
Scooter is smart.
All right, so
Who knew?
heading out for a short break, and we will be right back.